Welcome to another Lock and Hackle video. Howdy, welcome. It is August 11th, 2022, and we're right on the edge of summer. It's about, we're easing into the dog days here, and September will be here before we know it. Here in our area, the kids are back in school. I apologize for videos that I have not made, and my subscribers, I don't really know if you follow me all that much or if you go back and look. It doesn't really matter. This is kind of a fun thing for me to kind of talk about things that I enjoy. YouTube is just a big show and tell for everybody. Everybody has their own channel. They have their own ideas, opinions on different things, fuzzy cat videos and all that kind of stuff. One thing I wanted to show is, since the channel is Lock and Hackle, referring to the lock of firearms, and hackle, which we use to tie flies for fishing. And in about 4 days, we will be going into our small game season here. Starts mid-August and goes all the way through to February, I believe. It's a long season, but in that there's different animals that are added to the season. It starts with squirrels, and then I think rabbits and other small game are added to that. And I wanted to showcase 3 of our critter getters, if you will. I talked to a few people, and they were interested this year in going out on a squirrel hunt. It's kind of a fun thing to do. You just go for a nice stroll in the woods on your local public land. Stuff your pockets full of ammunition, whether you're using shotgun or rifle. Typically it's a 410 and or a 22 long rifle. So I was going to show you a few of ours. We have 3 here that I'm going to show you. The first one is actually my wife's. This is a Browning BL-22 lever action rifle. Oops. Fold down rear sight. This doesn't go out in the wood that much, for the simple fact that it is absolutely gorgeous. Now, these firearms have been cleared. There's no ammunition laying out for these. So I can't accidentally load one. I'm not going to operate the action. I'm going to be safe. So this is a very, very handsome lever action rifle. It gets seldom used. She's the one that uses it, not me. I'm not going to put dings and scratches on this thing. It's just absolutely gorgeous. So that's her critter getter if she ever needs to use it. The next 2 I'm going to show you are my tried and true squirrel / varmint / what have you firearms. The first one I'm going to show you is one that I have owned since I was about 13 years old. And this is a true critter getter right here. This is a Ruger 1022, manufactured in 1968. It's in its original configuration, except for the scope, obviously. This gun was given to me when I was 12 or 13 by accident. There was a slight water leak in my parents' bedroom in the back of the house, and my mother was in a hurry to get stuff out of the closet when she pulled out these 2 gun bags, and they were in bad shape. That 1970s pleather with faux fur lining, they were miserable. There were 2 firearms. One was a lever action Winchester, which did not fare very well, and this particular rifle, which has just a little bit of pitting right there on the barrel. I can't tell you how many thousands of rounds and a couple of animals that this thing has taken. It has been with me everywhere I've lived. It's been in storage. Yeah, luckily, as a teenager, and a young adult. I did during the 80s and 90s put this thing into many of the weird configurations that you could get back then with the folding stocks and plastic stocks and hand guards and all kinds of crap. Fortunately, I knew not to get rid of this original walnut stock. Again, the firearm is empty. I'm not going to operate it, but this is going to be one that I will be taking out possibly to do some squirrel hunting with. We have a simple 3x9 scope on here. I think these are Weaver rings, steel, old, and the original Weaver's 1022 scope mount that's been on there forever. If you own a newer 1022, those are fine. We have a new one in our family. It's my daughter's, and it's good. I like it. It just has a lot more plastic components, such as the barrel band and the trigger assembly are plastic. This is a forged aluminum piece, very nice. Also, the butt plate on these, on mine, is an aluminum piece. The newer ones, I think, are plastic. So, yeah, Ruger 1022, very nice. My next squirrel gun, I think, was designed specifically for squirrel hunting. I don't know the year of manufacture on it, but I do know what it is. This is a Savage Model 24. It is a 410 22 over under, 22 barrel on top, 410 barrel on the bottom. Your selector is here. That would fire the 410. That would fire the 22. This was the original selector right here, but for some reason, from what I've read, they tended to break. So a factory fix was to put the selector on the hammer. It is very English style in its manufacture. There's no takedown rod right here. You literally pop the fore end off. You just have to pop it, and then you open the action, and the barrels come off of the receiver. This is another one that has been a lot of places. It went on a camping trip with me when I was in my early 20s, and the poor thing got left in the woods. It we had a trunk full of guns, a bunch of people, and it started to rain. We hurriedly packed up, and when I got dropped off at my house, we were unloading stuff, and come to find out this was not in the car. And it was a week later before I could drive back up to where we were camping and retrieve my rifle from the ground. Luckily, it did not rain again that whole week. It's got some, the stock has some, needed to be refinished and resealed, so I did do that. And I did touch up the barrels with some cold blue, just to kind of get some of the protection back on it. I don't know if you can see. So it turned out pretty good. The receiver itself is just probably some sort of pot metal. It was that Damascus look on there, which it's faded over time. You can see it inside the action when you open it up. But this one's fun. It really is. Now, it's very accurate, really. It has a very long 22-inch barrel and a very long 410 barrel. So it'll reach out there and touch. About 3 weeks ago, up at my mother-in-law's place, she has a critter problem, mainly being skunks and raccoons. And so when she gets out in the morning, she has to, turn the lights on. She has to look under her car. One day, a skunk had, once she pulled into her driveway, into her car or parking spot, she was on the phone or something, and all of a sudden she noticed the skunk go under her car. So she was kind of trapped there for a minute, didn't really know what to do. So when we went up to visit, she said they come out about between 8 and 9 o'clock in the morning or at dusk. So I just happened to be sitting there drinking a cup of coffee when I heard my mother-in-law say, "Hey, there's a skunk in the backyard. Come get him." We live on, the house is on 150 acres, so there's lots of critters. So I had brought this with me. and I went rummaging through the house to find a 410 shell because some people were still sleeping. So I found a 410 shell and went outside, and from about 40 yards I took care of Mr. Skunk. So what can I say? Wherever you are, if your small game season is inching forward, you know, grab your 22 rifles or your, you know, kids 410s, or take your kids. There are some fairly decent recipes for squirrel. You can find them online. There's plenty of episodes on YouTube on people, you know, preparing squirrel. So that's part of, you know, Lock and Hackle. And with that, if you're a fly fisherman and you want to go out and get some squirrel tails to make some dubbing, to make some fly tying material, it's out there for the taking. Grab a couple squirrels, cut off the tails. You've got some really nice hair. You've got some fur to tie some flies. Great way to do it. You've harvested that animal. You use that animal for food, and then you use that animal to tie a fly to catch fish. How cool is that? This is going to be my main squirrel gun this year. I really want to take it out and let it get some use. I've shot the Ruger 1022 so much. I feel like I'm cheating with the scope, because I mean, if they can be 60, 70 feet up in the tree and I can take them. So I kind of want to take this one, go old school, open sights. I have the ability to take a 22 or a 410 out into the woods and try my best at getting a squirrel. Or the limit, I believe, is 8 per day. That's a lot. So with that, we're approaching the fall season now. We've got deer season coming up here in my area. The trout stocking for the delayed harvest will start in November, and hopefully I can get some videos of some trout fishing here pretty soon. The weather has just been really hot. We haven't had a lot of rain up until the last week or so. So I really haven't been out. The kids just got back into school, and it's that time of year where we start getting back out to do some trout fishing, do a little squirrel hunting possibly, some deer hunting hopefully, and bring that to the channel, and maybe just some more fun videos like this. So I appreciate you, you know, waiting on my videos, and if you have any questions, please put them down in the comments.